Alright, so now we should be good. Oh, yeah, yeah. Just, so this one, let's see if we went live in YouTube. I'm throwing something over here. I don't think I'm live in YouTube. Oh yeah. So mi gente, if you guys are watching me, you can do me a favor. What the fuck is my mouth? You can look Calixto Photography _ on YouTube, and you can find me over there. That's cool. That's all I wanted to know, if it was streaming over there. So now we're gonna go. I was like, why does photo look dark? Now we're gonna look for my friend gallery. And look, I'm gonna show you guys how I don't even save photos no more to a hard drive. That's why the limit time that you got to download your photo, you gotta download it, cause they expire. I don't see it over here. It's weird. go by, oh, newborn. And I was looking for Hillary. You gotta go to newborn. Right here, we're gonna create a set. Edit. Images. Include select photo. Then you're gonna hit publish. Then all of that is gonna be uploading over there to the gallery. Hey, what's good? How's it going? Let's get it. Vero, corazón, ¿cómo estamos? Ya no quiero a los pobres. Ya no quiere a los pobres, Vero. Quiero a los pobres, coño. Alright, so this is loading. Vero, ¿qué tú haces despierta a esta hora? You don't go to work tomorrow? I mean, tomorrow's Sunday, what the fuck? Alright, so... Alright, so I have a lot of photos right here. Alright, so these photos from here to here. Leave photos on service from Lightroom. You what? You're hiding in your room. Oh my god, that's what I'm gonna upload right now. I'm gonna upload those photos. I'm doing good, thank God. Batallando aquí en la lucha. No hay más nada, día a día. ¿Y tú, cómo estás? No, this is uploading the freaking video. Todo bien, luchando, batallando día a día. Cansado, mucho trabajo. Yo quisiera que someone edit with the same style that I edit, so I can take a break sometime from editing. I was busy all day and look at what I'm doing right now. But if I don't do it, I get caught up. For real. Parezco un maniquí. Los otros días estaba bien embaratado. Yo decía, Señor, I need my bed. It's just school start, and now with the school, I just be more busy with the kids, homework, cooking at home for the kids. It's like way too much. But my kids getting out of school very soon. My daughter got like 2 years more at the North High. And my little one just went to middle school. And at night, I don't sleep, so like an hour ago, I was gonna shut the computer off and lay in the couch over there and watch a seminar that I want to watch. And all of a sudden, I didn't feel like to sleep or lay down no more. Hey, yo, Emmanuel, what's good, brother? How is it going? What the hell you doing away too? Everyone is away, huh? Gotta get it, man. Gotta get it. I'm doing good, Emmanuel. Pero, when we gonna party, Pero? When we gonna party? I'm ready. No, today I was gonna drink a lot, but hey, what's good, my people in Twitch? Yeah, man, you already know. I'm gonna show you some stuff that I've been working. Ooh. Someone hi. Someone is saying hi on Twitch, I believe. Let me show you. I did this one Oh, better, your uncle was over here.
That's the deuce.
Of men who will be men today.
Niggas got a man to fuck up.
We are in need.
It's a man's world, ain't it?
Of strong men today.
I'm in need of some blessings. Just praying for my spirit like I've been needing protection. See what I see, that shit a change in perspective. Every morning I take my shot of Hennessy, that's for breakfast. It was all a dream, we living in inception. I've been getting through depression, I'm like bigger when I step in. Right hand hold the pot, I whip it with the left arm. Before I lift the weight, I get my stretch on. The court's mind game.
We too out of luck. We find the eyes. Ain't no way these niggas is skilled in jotting lies. Way too out of line, heavily on the grind. Shit give me the chills from the untimely demise. My brother suffered and why? Still your energy on my mind.
This one is coming, Beto. This is my best beat ever. So if you guys watching, I'm gonna show you guys.
Hey, gonna be crazy, man.
Hey, man, watch what I was shooting today. This is one of my best videos. Let me see what else I got around here. That's it. Y'all gotta go. Y'all gotta go to this page. Beto, you gotta go to this page. You gotta do me a big favor. You gotta go to this page. You can add me in my personal. I don't mind. I fuck with you. And also on this one, my business page. This is the page that I need you all to be following me. There's this one, it was staying freezing up. But look, I got these photos right here. No, that was fire. Hey man, it was good. You chilling over there? Let's go back to the photos. Man, I like this one better than the other one. Welcome to the Mink podcast. Let's see how long I'll be awake today. Is this focus, this camera, this photo focus or what? A little bit. So now we are gonna go real quick. Make sure you guys follow me on that page. This page right here, Calixto Photography. Please. Now my client's photo are upload. They change the cover. We can use this one. Alright, that look good right there. This is how busy. A lot of these photos you have never seen it before. Oh my God. He said I can go. We can go on Monday. I may go. Like 9 to something, but I'm not gonna be there at 7 a.m. I'm gonna tell Karen not to do none of my shit. I'll go over there. Probably like at 9, 10 a.m. But yeah, I'm definitely going. I need to make that money. I hope I go. I'm saying I'm going, but I don't know. No, I'm not go. Sending galleries, man. This section, it was from last week. Yeah, man. Let me go over here. Pull this on thread real quick.
second option, in my opinion, is if you don't want to do that route necessarily, it's to basically reduce deliverables, potentially, make it make sense for you, and don't discount your services. Don't ever discount your services. It's kind of similar to sticking to your guns, like sticking to your guns from a rate standpoint. But if you ever discount your services for a low budget client, they will take advantage of you
Yeah.
for the next gig.
I mean, honestly, I want to go. I just hope that I don't get caught up too much busy because I have a lot of work on the computer. That's why I'm trying to get a as much as I can tonight and tomorrow. You're about to see some crazy photos very soon. I'm getting hungry now. It's getting hot. Good.
know, you got discovery calls and we all love plugs, right? We're all plug fans here. With that being said, we have an episode that we've already recorded that's out. It's on asking the right questions. So if you're trying to figure out which discovery call questions should I be asking calling it, go check out that episode. Real quick, I want to share my process for how I respond to a little bit of clients, and then I want to hear yours real quick. Before I even respond, I do my research. How big is this company? What does their website look like? What does their Instagram look like? What are their core values? Guess what? If I go to their website and I'm like, heck no, nothing. Their values on their website don't align with where I want to be working and the type of people and clients that I want to be attracting, then it might be the time to refer them. With that being said, you got to do your research on, okay, they're coming in low. Why? You're a startup. You're either uneducated. Get them on discovery call, communications, everything. On that call, you're asking the right questions, and you can be upfront with them and just say, hey, this is my starting out price, this is where I'm at, I've done projects like this in the past, it's not a good fit for a person. Which brings me to, what is different about your process, if anything? Would you say you have pretty similar processes like the lead hunter?
God.
I think it is. But if you were like, yo, Paul, your process is trash, man. Guys, off the mic, I always tell Paul how like I'm putting more views in it. So guys, oh, what? I'm just kidding. Paul honestly has been, when I tell you guys that the partnership that we've had in the Paul was great because the only reason I feel like personally I'm able to charge more, like in the $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 ever for a project, or I even have confidence for that, is because I actually was helping Paul on a pricing workshop to do more. That's kind of why I met Paul. But honestly, from that one workshop, I learned a lot from Paul and how he handles it. Everything we're talking about in this episode, y'all, they're all mindset things. It's the way you approach pricing. It's the way you approach negotiating. It's not, there's no secret sauce to just get big leads and creative box. Whoever tells you that, like, whatever, funnel get pretty crazy, get crazy $10,000 lead, it doesn't work like that. As a creative in this industry, it's all about your negotiation skills, it's all about your business skills, it's how you approach a situation. Those are the things that are going to help you bump up your rates. And so for me, and my pricing kind of the process is a little different from Paul because I think the nature of the people we both get are just a little different. I sometimes get a feel on the more like influencer, brand collaboration side, which the pipeline for that is much different than someone where they're trying to bring calling as like a creative strategist, right? There's a lot more fun around that. Discovery calls are necessary because they need to know what Paul's about in this process. For me, I have a lot of times where I close clients and don't hop on discovery calls. They're just putting their emails and then I close them over emails as well. But for me, what I do is I'm very intentional about sticking to my guns, like we just talked about. And I try my best to know my worth. And this is the important part that I always say that's the process that we both have. Knowing your worth is huge. And the reason why anyone listening to this, pricing doesn't really matter. I'm gonna just say it right now. If your work is trash, your work is trash. Like you go and get low budget.
If your work is trash, your work is trash.
I'm sorry if like
I love to listen to this.
hard for some people, but you need someone to tell you that because you need to
I'm loving you too.
look at your work and look at someone you know that is making a ton of money. Like do market research. Yeah, gauge your work off of that person's work. And if you can confidently say to yourself in the mirror, you're like, yo, I'm fire, this content's fire, it's at the same level of people I know that are making a ton of money, then you might need to tweak some things in your negotiation process or in your discovery call process. But if you can confidently look in the mirror, you're like, I'm not gonna lie, my work is looking a little lacking right now. It's not looking as fire. Dusty, bro. Yeah, you need to figure out a little bit where you lie on that like pricing part. And this is so hard because I feel like a lot of creators like they know that they need to worry about business, but because they're not looking at their work more through that lens of like where do I actually lie in this pool of creatives that like in the plates that are going around, because they're just trying to find that bulletproof sales pitch, that bulletproof path, those are the ones that are struggling the most. So it's like really having that honest conversation with yourself is where do I lie? So for me, like the process we're talking about, for a YouTube integration, right? On my YouTube channel, and I'm throwing out rates or throwing out numbers, right? In that brand collaboration, I need to see kind of base my price off that. I wouldn't just blindly throw out a number and be like, oh, this is high, like hopefully this works for me. You need to have a little bit more science behind it, a little bit more finesse, a little bit more research, like Paul said. Figure out where your quality versus price kind of correlation is.
I like that. Let's put the word industry awareness on that. You gotta be aware of whatever your niche is or your whatever industry you're in as a third dance or entrepreneur. That's going on. What other people doing. I like to know what like friends of mine are charging for day rates based on deliverables, based on scope, all those things. Because I can take those things, the market rate, or the market rate, and plug that into my own system.
Let's see.
But kind of the last point that we had here is responding to low budget clients. I think some people just ghost people, like those brands that are like, yeah, we're on a budget. One thing I like to do is I actually like to connect them and refer them to someone that might come to mind as being a good fit and also might not be as experienced. Because at the end of the day, you never know where that relationship's going to go. So for me, the lead comes in as low budget, but there's someone in my city or someone in my network that is brought up to me that is trying to build their clientele. I'm going to say, hey, I personally can take on this gig, but I can refer somebody. And if anything, I think it's cool to share work, especially share referrals. But I think those four things are really important. But people that might be listening that might be like, do I need to build a portfolio? I'm just starting out, or maybe I'm coming out of an agency job and I can't use the portfolio work from the agency for my own portfolio, and I keep running into low budget inquiries. What do you feel like people should take and accept low budget clients?
Yeah. I think that every creative who is successful currently, don't even just think about Paul or people who listen to a podcast or something.
Look at what this nigga chair says.
All that successful. I would almost put my money on it.
That's funny.
Every successful creative has had a season of life in the early stages where they need to take a ton of low budget gigs. They need to take those low budget gigs in order to get to the next level. Like even me, like you go on social media and I see like I'm doing other projects now, you scroll way back to my like where I first started when I was like trying to be a freelancer. I was taking all the not sexy low budget gigs. It was real estate, helping with weddings, senior portraits, you name it. Like I was doing all the random things. One time I did a gig for this like local mechanic, bro. I was like in a school parking lot trying to get this person to do a oil change on a freaking car, and I was like making this snazzy video for it, bro. Like, and
You
it's
told me
crazy.
you told me you did that gig a week ago.
But like,
You were live,
for
bro.
real though,
A week ago.
you're right.
You don't believe I'm getting cold again?
But I only charge like
I'm getting cold. I'm about to brew coffee again. Fuck.
The only way that you can have that pricing power, and we talked about in the very early part of the episode, that negotiating power where if a client were to come into your boss and walk away right now, and you're like, whatever, like, there's the door. If you don't work, you know, budget's too high, then there's the door. The only way you get to that point is because you have built up enough
Let's
portfolio,
get it.
you've built up enough authentic competition that you're not afraid to speak in that way. And in order to get to that point, you need to start something. You need to invest $1, you need to invest $10,000.
Hey.
So
That's good right there.
that's to answer your question. I think that if you're in a season where your work maybe
See
is
if I can photo.
you keep getting low budget gigs, and you're not making money, you're not working on anything, it might be time just to buckle down, start working on these low budget gigs as quickly and as like, efficiently as possible, and then work your way up to a point where you feel comfortable enough to start throwing out some bigger numbers that doesn't scare you. That's where I am.
I would agree with that. It's easy. Yeah. I think a lot of people will message me in the head and say, hey, this has come up a lot where it's like, hey, I'm trying to figure out if I should move to a bigger city. Big, and they don't have big budgets. Guess what? Where you live doesn't determine the size of the client, whether they have a budget or not. When I lived in Minnesota, I digits within your jigs won't determine the gigs. I'm serious though. I think a lot of people just need to know that it is really a reflection of how serious you take your own portfolio and you run your own business. If you want to attract high value, low budget clients, make sure that yourself is perceived as that. And you will attract them. It'll be easier for outreach. It'll be easier for referrals, networking. I promise you that. But yeah, I think we touched on some good points when it comes to the low budget clients.
Nothing interesting in this photo.
One more point that I want to make was if the low budget client comes in hot,
This is cool. We have one of the birthday gear playing over there.
absolutely atrocious. Like if there were even years and you would hate that money. Like just it's just the worst. It's basically borderline disrespectful. What I typically do is I'll
Let me see something over here.
noble trail.
I don't think this is gonna detect Dre over here. It's gonna detect more of these people right here.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Let me see.
That's the best part.
Not that in there, but that's cool.
Honestly, it's all fun and games. We're going to let you guys know that I'd say on a monthly basis I get low budget.
You can leave that over there.
It never changes. I don't take it. I don't take it to offense. I don't take it personal. Ultimately, I have a lens that I'm able to bring clients through on and bring and be considered on. One of the things that I would say in the season of being booked and busy, they don't have the budget that is going to meet where I'm currently getting paid.
So this one guy, let me check the other one.
So I just want to encourage you guys that it's four things that we touched on how to respond to low budget clients. First one being stick to your guns. Second one, Ed, you want to hit on?
Yeah, the second one is to reduce your deliverables. If you don't want them to walk away, reduce your deliverables and make it make sense for you. Right? If you're asking for
Alright,
something,
so now
you want to switch it to like a half day and you're using like 3 hours. Now
this thing.
That's good. Number three is stick to your process. Don't give up on them because you think you're exhausted.
This one charging.
Come on, you start your call, how do you want to approach them? That's what I like.
I was for a while without audio.
Starting at price,
No one told me nothing.
now how about the last one?
the last one is if you've exhausted all efforts to fulfill all those things, you just refer them.
Now my mic should be good.
Experienced it. I have too. I'm surprised you refer people. They sometimes still come back to me because they appreciate the referral. Because now one thing now have the budgets to work with you and they come back to when you started because they value how you position yourself. So sometimes it's a win-win on that front. You make your hands in business. You also, keep up your reputation, your perception of how your work is.
That's
Right?
cool.
And you can move on. Everyone kind of situation as well.
That's good. All right, I got
The only thing that I don't see over here
If you found value from this episode, go give us a 5-star.
is the
You're following me combo. And
Facebook shot.
see on the next episode.
Please page, you gotta do me a big is the Facebook shot. Please page, you gotta do me a big is the Facebook shot. Please page, you gotta do me a big is the Facebook shot. Please page, you gotta do me a big is the Facebook shot. Please page.
What does that mean? Give a little teaser. What are you going into today?
Oh man, we're gonna talk about what it's like running a freelance business and not having a boss, maybe not having coworkers.
Alright, this is already sent.
How do you celebrate wins? What does accountability look like? And then ultimately, how do you run this marathon of being a freelancer when you're playing against yourself? Okay, we're about to get into the meat here, but let's roll that intro music.
Roll the intro music.
How this topic came about was I was just
Jamie, te voy a hacer una avena o una harina de maíz, una de las dos.
You've done so much in your business. You don't take time to celebrate. And I'm like, you're right. She's like, I just want to tell you, you're constantly playing against yourself. So that's when I call that and I'm like, yo, we're about to run an episode on this, and that is why we're bringing this to you guys today.
Yeah, I think the reason what I took away from when Paul sent me that voice message, or after that conversation we had with Sam, realized it's so true because as freelancers, even if you're not freelancing, honestly, you could be working a job for someone as well. There's kind of this constant pressure to perform. Everyone wants to perform at the highest level. Sometimes they're looking at their routine, sometimes they're looking at their circle, sometimes they're gauging off of vanity metrics, like you have X amount of followers and you're crushing it, are you performing? But what does that even mean? Like, how do you gauge yourself on how well you're doing? And so that's why it was fascinating when Paul told that to me, because when you actually gauge yourself off yourself, there's some interesting things that come to the surface. And I think we talked on it a little bit just a couple minutes ago, but what are the things that we're looking into today in today's episode? We're talking about accountability. There's a few other things that we're talking about as well on playing against yourself.
Yeah, celebrating wins. And it's a good time to just take a breather and say, hey, let's reflect. And then also, how do you stay motivated as an entrepreneur or freelancer? Maybe someone that's working remote isn't around coworkers and also finds himself doing like the playing field fun against themselves. So let's dive into it. Let's first start with motivation, because we're speaking to the crowd of freelancers for a minute, creative entrepreneurs. It can be a lonely journey, right? It can be super lonely. That's why we have the big convoys, because we want to open up this dialogue and we want to cultivate community so others can feel like, they can ask the hard questions and we can learn and grow. That being said, what comes to mind when you think of just like your own business? How have you stayed motivated as someone who wakes up, goes to your spare bedroom that you turn into an office, and you're constantly grinding and trying to figure out how to grow your own business, when you're surrounded with friends that might work a 9 to 5, that might have a routine, that might have these quarterly performance conversations and bonuses? How do you stay motivated?
This is a really good question, because it is something that's been on my mind over my free time. I feel like motivation is not really what I'm striving for anymore, to answer your question. I've realized over the years, trying to do this whole creative business thing, motivation comes and goes. Even between me and Paul, for the podcast or our businesses, I know when Paul's like feeling motivated to get something done, and it's like the blinders are on. But then there are other times I can tell where like you want to pick your foot off the gas a little bit, you want to take it easier, same vice versa for me. Like you can feel that from me, it's the energy that I give off on a certain task or a certain project. And so for me, I realized routine is really big to impact your motivation. Before I would rely on being motivated a lot. Usually I wake up and like, am I motivated to do this? If the answer is no, then I kind of drag my feet to the process. But if you have a solid routine in place, you have those time blocks, and you have those triggers in your day that help you stay focused, you kind of just, whether you have motivation or not, you're performing at a high level. And that's something that I've realized. The more important question is, instead of saying how do you stay motivated, it's more of what is your routine every single day so that you don't fall off. And that's what I've been focusing on more of. So for me personally, my routine always starts in the morning and then it ends towards like 5 or 6 p.m. But maybe we can share a little bit about our personal routine. I mean, obviously your routine, being a dad of 2, almost 3 kids now, and being married and living geographically different than me, your routine is a little different than mine. But maybe we can try to find some common denominators between our routines that really help us stay locked in on a weekly basis.
That's good. And constantly gravitating towards being with other people in community. Like, I'm FaceTiming my friends, I call you guys all the damn time. Guess what? It's because it's just me. I'm in my at-home office.
Let me get this done.
But I think it's acknowledging when it's okay to press like pause on work and do things that are going to fuel, these other enjoyments and hobbies. For me, it's just like my routine is heavily balanced with balancing work and life. Because I got 2 little girls, I got a wife who works from home, and obviously she's a full-time mom. So I think for me, it's like you said, routine is valuable, but also at the end of the day, I know that I'm doing what I love, because when I'm doing it, I feel inspired, I feel creative, I feel like this natural drive to keep doing more and more, even in a world that we live in of like speed, speed, speed. So whenever I acknowledge that I'm not motivated, guess what? It's okay. I take a deep breath and I do something that's going to maybe fuel me in a different way.
forcing things, and if you feel like you're forcing things, there's probably either A, a better route to do it, or B, you might be slightly burnt out. You just take a step back and strategize.
I'm dying over here.
Playing against yourself. I grew up playing basketball. And when I thought of this, and when my wife was asking me, like, hey, how are you doing? Do you ever take time to yourself? What came to mind was this picture of me playing basketball, guarding myself. And I'm like, this gives me lots of anxiety because guess what? I feel like I'm pretty good at defense and I'm a decent shooter, but if I replicated myself on the court and I tried guarding myself, guess what? It's going to be extremely hard to get past me. It's going to be extremely hard to put off a shot. It's going to be extremely hard to have a moment where I'm like, okay, cool, who's winning, who's not, because it's being playing against myself. So I think the context of how do you stay
So
in it,
something else I've been working.
stay in the nitty-gritty grind of building a business. I think it also comes to surrounding yourself with other people that are doing it, because then you're not nailing, you're not weird, you're not, you're able to bring ideas back and forth and be like, yo, this is what I'm going through. Guess what? Me too. This is how I got past it. That's why I feel like community of people, just being surrounded by other like people. Main topic, Molly. Yeah, playing against yourself.
So we're just a whole creative industry.
That type of energy. The reason why I think that's so valuable, and maybe you can speak on this as well, is when you're comparing yourself. We all deal with like comparing.
Right, your own life on the runway, okay? So every time you gotta do stuff on this runway, think of it as a performance. Don't think of it as like a practice. Don't think of it like, oh,
If you're training for something, and on day one,
I gotta
you
finish
know
this.
the person next to you, and they're literally crushing it, you're gonna feel a little bit demoralized.
Amiga, que la que hay, ¿cómo estamos?
Oh my gosh, I got a long way to go. And some people though, they use track. They say, I don't even want to start because okay, this person next to me, they're already crushing it. So depending on the type of person you are, if you listen to this,
No, I don't know why I don't got that video in here.
type of personality. For me,
Y aquí estamos trabajando. No hay más nada. ¿Cómo está la bendición de Dios? ¿Cómo está el bebé? Creciendo, me imagino, a las millas.
At the same time, I don't want to compare myself to the point where it's crippling, where it causes me to not want to move forward because I just see how far the journey ahead is. If you really just focus on your own lane and your own being on offense against yourself, like you were saying with the basketball illustration, that's the quickest way to grow. Like literally, it's the quickest way to grow. Because if you start focusing on other people's journey besides your own, you're gonna start doing things that don't feel natural to you because you can't be the spitting image of someone else. That's their journey. That's what they're on.
This is
You try to
very...
replicate it, you'll always just be like a copy. You'll always just be like a replica of someone else. And no one wants to copy.
No one wants to be the model home, bro.
No. And in order to not be like that, you gotta stay your own lane.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Come on, that's
Yeah.
good. I think what goes hand in hand with what we're talking about routine, how to stay motivated, is I believe there's a lack of accountability sometimes. And maybe it's less accountability and it's more so just what we were saying, loneliness. Because if I compare myself to what I grew up with, my dad was working a pretty stable job throughout my entire childhood. 9 to 5, he'd always leave at 8, get to work, get home at 6 because he was off at 5 and there's traffic. And every once in a while, every quarter, I remember he'd come home and be like, "Yo, we're going out to eat." And I'm like, "What happened?" He said, "I got a raise or I got a bonus." And that was a cool moment because we were able to celebrate that. And if I kind of ask myself, are there any moments like that? I'll be honest, Evan, we have conversations when we're talking about things in our own businesses together. I'm the last one to post and go out and tell people, hey, guess what I just did? What is that? How do you feel about that? Because I think we were talking about this off the mic and that, growing up, what was it like for you? Like, your parents?
I mean, we're going to Olive Garden, baby. That's what we're going. We're celebrating.
Hey, the unlimited breast sticks?
Dude, people be sleeping on that 5 cheese eating, you feel me?
Bro, I love that you brought up Olive Garden because I think, tell me if I'm wrong for saying this, but what if all of us listening to this episode, even me and you, block off once a month or once a quarter, maybe at the end of the quarter, a day or a night where you just splurge. Whether your thing is like eating out, eating that good meal, and it's about you. guys get to go to the happy hours, you guys get to go to Christmas parties, go work. If your boy's doing a quarterly, all-out Gotti experience.
They got better expression on this one, so you can take this one out.
I feel like a lot of people don't do, again, like celebrating the wins like we just talked about. We don't do that enough. And I think it's hard because at a typical job structure, right? Like you have quarterly goals, you have benchmark, like you have these things you're aiming towards. And if you're, let's say you're a salary employee as well, one thing you're striving towards is a higher salary. And once you hit it, you can like kind of bask in that win because you're just kind of waiting for that next salary bump or the next bonus or whatever.
Take this one out.
That's all good. But I think also when you're trying to grow something like a creative business, a lot of it is not always monetarily based. Sometimes it's metric based, like the number of followers you have, which is completely out of your control. There's so many things where like the goalpost is constantly moving, you know? Like the moment you hit 10K followers on something, you're already thinking about hitting 15K or 20K. Like that enjoyment of basking in like hitting 10K is so short-lived. And that can be said about any goalpost or any goal that you set in front of yourself. And especially, like you said, with your freelance, when you're working by yourself, you know, it's easy when you go to a corporate company and you get salary, you get promoted. There's like a group of friends waiting for you in the break room to be like, hey, yo, like, congratulations on your promotion. Yeah, but like, if you work for yourself, it's like, you go into your home office and you're like, okay, how's it going? Yeah. And it's so easy to get in that very repetitive moving goalposts, accomplishing it, moving goalposts, accomplishing it. Like at what point you just pull the plug and actually give yourself some credit? Yeah. Like reap the benefits of what you got. And again, I think a lot of it does come down to personality. You know, like there's something that I know about you is that you kind of have that like never satisfied, always hungry type of mentality, which is a great thing for business. But then sometimes when it comes to your personal life, it's like you don't give yourself the credit that I feel like you deserve. So it's like, how do you find that balance in between giving yourself credit, but not so much credit when your business doesn't pick up? Is it really like, it's a very thin line. You're trying to get in there, but it's so important to talk about because there are so many creatives that I feel like they kind of didn't give themselves that credit along the way. They worked for 6 years and feel like they built nothing, which is not true, but that's kind of how people feel sometimes.
I want to hone in on that for a minute because you brought it up. As entrepreneurs, as people that work for themselves, when you're playing against yourself, you're always striving for more. When is it enough? When are you satisfied? That's the danger, I think, even in myself.
It says 3 minutes, but I don't think it's gonna do it in 3 minutes.
If I hit my income goal for the year, I can take off work, you know, in October, throughout the rest of the year, or let you go. And I think the danger of it all is you experience burnout, you experience work overtaking your life. That happens with a lot of entrepreneurs. But it's just something to be aware of because I've experienced it firsthand. You know, you have Ed, where it's like the go mentality, and from the outside, you don't know when to stop or when, you know, you hit the benchmark because it's that ceiling that just keeps on getting broken, which you brought up a good point. You preface with most manufacturers, they know.
Show you guys something I'm working and still a lot to go.
I just put myself over there and I had the opportunity to open the doors for my own self. At some point I didn't have no agency or whatever, but I did everything on my own. And then after that I was able to have an agency.
Embracing myself and like walking into the room and feeling confident in myself. I feel like you don't need to like compare yourself to no one else. I just walk in and I'm like, I'm gonna do my best.
So I think just embracing myself and like I said, standing tall and who I am and what I bring to the table has just set me apart from others.
And I think everyone needs to understand, like truly realize you all bring something to the table, whether it's modeling, photography.
I like to be like around people who are doing better than me. So it's like, if I'm not doing better for myself or trying to do better, they're trying to support me to do better or trying to force me to do better.
I get inspired by a lot of people, seeing like how they do things for their own self.
I try to like trust myself and like put myself in the position to know like I'm here for a reason and you wouldn't be in this position, you know, if it wasn't meant for you.
It's like, it's not gonna be a rainy day forever, you know. It's always gonna be opportunities. Sometimes the opportunity's not for you. You You know, just you gotta look at that bigger picture. Just know that someone out there will want you. Someone will want to work with you.
I just put myself over there and I had the opportunity to open the doors for my own self. At some point I didn't have no agency or whatever, but I did everything on my own. And then after that I was able to have an agency.
Bracing myself and like walking into the room and feeling confident in myself. I feel like you don't need to like compare yourself to no one else. I just walk in and I'm like, I'm gonna do my best.
So I think just embracing myself and like I said, standing tall and who I am and what I bring to the table has just set me apart from others.
And I think everyone needs to understand, like truly realize you all bring something to the table, whether it's modeling, photography.
I like to be like around people who are doing better than me. So it's like, if I'm not doing better for myself or trying to do better, they're trying to support me to do better or trying to force me to do better.
I get inspired by a lot of people, seeing like how they do things for their own self.
I try to like trust myself and like put myself in the position to know like I'm here for a reason, and you wouldn't be in this position, you know, if it wasn't meant for you.
It's like, it's not gonna be a rainy day forever, you know. It's always gonna be opportunities. Sometimes the opportunity's not for you. You know, just you gotta look at that bigger picture. Just know that someone out there will want you. Someone will want to work with you.
I ain't on the guest list, this is home field. Raised by the veterans, that's why I'm so ill. Intelligent, bars with elegance. This is a man's world, I dominate a feminist. Witness a terrorist on his grids. Gotta feed the kids. Hate it when a nigga can't say what it really is. Same go for a bitch. Tryna catch a come up gon' only get you the biz. And that's just what it is. We living to die, same time dying to live. While I'm contemplating crime all the times for a win, nigga.
Of men who will be men today.
Niggas got a man to fuck up.
We are in need.
It's a man's world, ain't it?
Of strong men today.
I'm in need of some blessings. Praying for my spirit like I've been needing protection. See what I see, that shit'll change in perspective. Every morning I take my shot of Hennessy, that's for breakfast. It was all a dream, we living in inception. I've been getting through depression, I'm like bigger when I step in. Right hand hold the pot, I whip it with the left arm. Before I lift the weight, I get my stretch on. The court's mine, game time once I step on. Shooter got a 30, move like Curry, think he Stephon. Pumped by the car, don't get gas like Exxon. I really know ghost, don't be the one I put a hex on. Nike headband on your head, I put a check on. I'm higher than the bill when the lights get left on. Mics get left on. I got an old soul, you can hear it. Third eye vision, that's the clearest. I got it for the low, like I'm shopping in the clearance. When you got that aura, you not worried about appearance. Streets raise niggas like we ain't never have parents. Memories with my mother, every moment I cherish. My haters rather I perish. Room full of white birds talking like a parrot. Every bar elegant rappers I don't compare it, but that's apparent. They can't fuck with me.
We are in need of men who will be men today. We are in need of strong men today.
They need me. Yo, Ilmana Oz. Ain't no way these niggas is skilled in jotting lies. Way too out of line, heavily on the grind. Shit give me the chills from the untimely demise. My brother suffered and why? Still your energy on my mind till the end of the time. See you when I arrive. Till then I'm showing niggas how lethal the flow inside. Hollow with a needle, 1,000 ways to die. see me with an evil, a baddie dozen a dime. She rockin' a see-through, I slide and never see you. Herm ass niggas, let you hiding with your people. Dutchie met me dolo with my bottles on my diesel. Meaning I will leave you to heaven, stomping in sevens, then slide to 7-Eleven for elements and refreshments. I ain't on the guest list, this is home field. Raised by the veterans, that's why I'm so ill. Intelligent, bars with elegance. This is a man's world, I dominate a feminist. Witness a terrorist on his grids. Gotta feed the kids. Hate it when a nigga can't say what it really is. Same go for a bitch.
Twitch. You guys gotta follow me over here. Follow me over here. Appreciate you all. Appreciate. What is this one? Calixto photography. This is the one. And also on this page. I started posting more over here. Sound coming in. So as you guys can see, this is the live that is going on right now, and this is some photo I posted today. That's the live. Jesus Christ. These are the photos that I was editing a few minutes ago. This is the mom, Hillary. That was the event the other day. Man, fucking photo still 67. Jesus Christ.
Tryna catch a come up won't only get you the biz, and that's just what it is. We live in the die, same time dying to live. While I'm contemplating crime all the time for a win, nigga.
Find out your homie hating and it hurts to know. Speed, I had to break in the game. Shit, I had to cook it myself. Shit, I had to pull up myself. Niggas ain't give me the recipe. Shit, I had to cook it myself. The floor on 400 degrees. A couple tricks under the sleeve. Dutchman each other with ease. Remember, nobody believed. Now they praising, he amazing. Hard times give me patience. The bezel was plain, I'm busting it down. The rollie is getting a facelift. My niggas are killing in cases. I'm still in the field where it's dangerous. Best friends, they turning to strangers. That's why I'm gripping these bankers. The love for my niggas ain't changing.
Before the chorus, lost my dog in a blizzard, snowstorm.
Eating through the lane like how I swerve the road. Diamonds on my chain like how I curve these hoes.
Plenty of scars, plenty of scars. This for my niggas that's on the yard. When it's said and done, you coming home with God. Yeah, they hearts ain't heavy as ours. My scars smile with plenty of scars. Shit, plenty of scars. This for my niggas that's on the yard. When it's said and done, you coming home with God. This passion is everlasting. Those niggas broke as a joke, worry about fashion. Idiotic, I ain't shopping, still got it. Niggas really on it, flying high shit for the rocket. Ever go broke, we lining up and robbing. Ain't niggas already got it. Woke up with a freak last night, we was wildin'. I left her deceased in the sheets and started jotting. Said what you call that? I don't fall off, just fall back. Cause in a flash it'll get all bad. Stay in your place and come with grace, no double takes. Disrespect, I need two for the day. Same chapter, just a different page. Stories of war, part 2 on the way.
Diamonds on my chain, look how I curve these hoes. You act like it's a show and get your curtains closed. Find out your homie hating and it hurts to know. Speeding through the lane, look how I swerve the road. Diamonds on my chain, look how I curve these hoes. You act like it's a show and get your curtains closed. Find out your homie hating and it hurts to know. I knew that it would happen, can't wait to blow. Heart frozen, my feelings colder than lake below. Plug like the weatherman, tell us when to wait for snow. Best friends across you tomorrow was good a day ago. Talent that I had, I couldn't wait to show. Knew it was my passion since like 8 years old. Trapping in, focused on the rapping, but my paper low. 100% better than niggas, check out the ratio. Wrong era probably won't never get played on radio. You can see we illuminated the way we go. Boys do what they can. I watched him wolf turn snake, then he murdered his dog. I knew a youngin' quit his job, started serving raw. White girls everywhere like it's Jersey Shore. For certain, for sure. These are the stories of war. Sound like some bullshit, my style on some new shit. Pocket full of blue chips. I don't need swine and give me flu shit. Stories of war. Sound like some bullshit, my style on some new shit. Pocket full of blue chips. I don't need swine and give me flu shit. Low vibrations make my mood switch. My hands stuck to that paper like a glue stick. Fly like a stories of war. Sound like some bullshit, my style on some new shit. Pocket full of blue chips. I don't need swine and give me flu shit. Low vibrations make my mood switch. My hands stuck to that paper like a glue stick. Fly like a witch on a broomstick. Bro, he tryna fight it, leave you boom quick. Fire when I light up the gas and make the fumes hit. Do say straight, I take a few sips. I've been feeling too lit, yeah. Alkaline water, tryna balance it. I raised the bar so much, it gave me calluses. You don't wanna charge me up, my niggas savages. Eyes get the driver, I'ma hit all the passengers. I bet they hear me now, they ain't heard me before. Mass pipe trips with the birds in the door. Spin by, double back, then we circle some more. For certain, for sure. These are the stories of war. Stories of war. Sound like some bullshit, my style on some new shit. Pocket full of blue chips. I don't need swine and give me flu shit. Low vibrations make my mood switch. My hands stuck to that paper like a glue stick. Fly like a witch on a broomstick. Bro, he tryna fight it, leave you boom quick. Fire when I light up the gas and make the fumes hit. Do say straight, I take a few sips. I've been feeling too lit, yeah. Alkaline water, tryna balance it. I raised the bar so much, it gave me calluses. You don't wanna charge me up, my niggas savages. Eyes get the driver, I'ma hit all the passengers. I bet they hear me now, they ain't heard me before. Mass pipe trips with the birds in the door. Spin by, double back, then we circle some more. For certain, for sure. These are the stories of war. I watched the wolf turn snake, then he murdered his dog. I knew a youngin' quit his job, started serving raw. White girls everywhere like it's Jersey Shore. For certain, for sure.
These are the stories of war. I'm rolling sour stuff to get the power up. Traded war stories and shackles back in the bus. Slime they ain't half of with shots with a static. Ratchets is getting bumped. All the war, take much tactics and levels up. Head is up, give you the roars. This shit was never touched. I need all my victories flawless, seeing your headed dust. Can't know how I play with the blade. This shit ain't a game. Gain influence in day to day. We still gotta make a way. Hey, these niggas can't fuck with the wrong error. With every song, terror ain't even a small error. Squaws, Derris, we leaving kids, mostly pallbearers. Prepare them, crown king on your boss to the cloth wearer. I lost a lot of my niggas, so I do it for them. It ain't a gym, you can't contend what I do with this pen.
Savages, eyes get the driver, I'ma hit all the passengers. I bet they hear me now, they ain't heard me before. Mass pipe trips with the birds in the door. Spin by, double back, then we circle some more. For certain, for sure.
These are the stories of war.
I watched the wolf turn snake. snake, then he murdered his dog. I knew a youngin' quit his job, started serving raw. White girls everywhere like it's Jersey Shore. For certain, for sure.
These are the stories of war. I'm rolling sour stuff to get the power up. Traded war stories and shackles back in the bus. Time they ain't half of with us when it's static. Ratchets is getting bumped. All the war, take much tactics, some levels up. Head is up, give you the roars. This shit was never touched. I need all my victories flawless, seeing your head dust. Can't know how I play with the blade. This shit ain't a game. Gang influence and day to day, we still gotta make a way. Hey, these niggas can't fuck with the wrong error. With every song, terror ain't even a small error. Squads terrorists, we leaving kids more than pallbearers. Prepare them, crown king on your boss to the cloth wearer. I lost a lot of my niggas, so I do it for them. It ain't a gym, you can't contend what I do with this pen. I swing a sword, that's your top 5, dead on the floor. Get some bread if you're bored, send it out, let if you draw.
I bet they hear me now, they ain't heard me before. Mass pipe trips with the birds in the door. Spin by, double back, then we circle some more. For certain, for sure.
These are the stories of war.
I watched the wolf turn snake, then he murdered his dog. I knew a youngin' quit his job, started serving raw. White girls everywhere like it's Jersey Shore. For certain, for sure.
These are the stories of war.
It's the war. Us.
Let's get it, mi gente. To show you guys that into Lightroom decided to finish right here. Let's go. God, mi espalda me duele. From this photo. You know what is crazy? I'm hearing some like dring, but I don't know where it's coming. Let's see how it's look on YouTube. How does it look on YouTube? Oh, it's showing. How does it look on YouTube? gotta get on my YouTube shit. Let's get to this one. Let's go right here.
This question is important too. It bleeds into what you charge. Yep. Depending on the uses and licensing terms. It bleeds into the talent, because if you're looking at talent through an agency, guess what? You're going to want to know the usage. It also bleeds into the way you format and the way that you deliver the content. For example, if a client's like, yeah, we're going to be running these in a dedicated ad campaign. Okay, cool. Do you have an ads manager that I can talk to while we work together? Because I want to know what has been the highest performing content in the past. Because I want to take note of that in our shop list. Yo, this will make you look stand out way different. Yes, there's going to be clients that you work with over time. For example, startups that might be like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. Or they might just see we're using it for what? Very cool. But you want to make sure you get into those nitty-gritty details with the music and licensing. Because the last thing you want is to get more personal love.
Gotta give some food to the puppy.
How do you actually up your rate and charge for content and how do you distribute it? Like, how do you make more money because it's seen on TV versus it's just being used at, a mom and pop shop and locally licensed store, right? Those are the questions that
Let's go.
obviously will come up and we won't go into this episode. If that's something that you want to know about, Paul does have a lot of experience with that. Let us know in the comment section of this video or DM us on the topic problem, and maybe we can do an episode on usage and licensing. Yo, if you're a YouTube listener, if you're watching our episodes, drop it in the comments. Let's go. We just hit 1,000 subs on YouTube. Okay, let's go. Guys, we just kind of covered real quickly five questions that most freelancers forget to ask. And guess what? You won't forget about them.
No.
Notes on this episode.
No.
And maybe we scratch the surface on some of these questions and you have more questions to ask in regards to, the distribution one, or maybe even the one that has to do with pricing adjustment. Let us know and we'll make sure to answer it offline. But we hope you got value from this. Ed, I think what's cool is our audience and the clients that we work with are brands from startups all the way to national brands that we get to work through often with agencies involved. But these questions come up. I'm
Cool, you growing Foliani at this time?
Where we're at with scope, where we're at with budget. Don't bring it to email if you can. Ask it over Zoom or ask it in person if you're in person type of deal maker. Because it's really going to make a difference. It's going to also make you stand out. It's going to give them the confidence. You know what the heck you're talking about. Yeah, for sure. And honestly, to recap as well, if you weren't taking notes,
I don't know what the hell is that.
in the show notes of this episode, we'll be sure to like break it down and structure it. The questions that you should ask for the 5 areas that we touched on in this episode. So make sure you check out the description of this video as well if you want quick access to those questions. Let's go. Hope you guys found value from this. Me and Ed are stoked about all the episodes to come. If there's a topic or there's something that you're going through with your business,
Oh, I think this is what is
you guys talk more about this, let us know. But hey, this episode also, just want to say, is influenced by an episode that we put out a while back called Asking the Right Questions.
think.
We're also going to tag in the show notes. Because if you're like, yo, those 5 questions are fire, or a few more, we did an entire episode on a few others that you can keep in mind. Yep, so hopefully everyone enjoyed this episode. It was short and sweet. You know how it is. We don't try to put this episode on the fluff. We get straight to the point. Hopefully it was a good quick listen. And we'll see y'all in the next episode. Oh yeah. See you guys. Alright, freelance entrepreneurs. We're talking about tax. Let me just put it in perspective real quick. If you were working a 9-to-5 job at a company making, let's say, $75K a year salary, your take home might only be 60 because they're taking out taxes. If you're a freelance entrepreneur running your business through an LLC, let's say, you get to write off some of those expenses, which will reduce your tax liability. So Ed and I are about to get into it. We're about to talk about tax strategy, what it means to us, how we go through these things, and navigate some of these hard conversations that come with being a creative entrepreneur. What's up, Ed? What's up? What's up, dude? Welcome to the hot seat on taxes. Thoughts got to start on the intro. You want to step up the microphone? All right, where's that intro music? Oh, whoa.
See the intro music.
Taxes be stressful, yo. And I know a lot because any of you have been commenting on episodes, on YouTube videos, they're feeling out, including the message on there as well. Instagram. Taxes and overall just business structure as a freelancer, even not freelancers in general, taxes can be stressful. Yep. And I'm not gonna lie, it's not the most sexy topic to talk about. Hey, you know, we're not going up here on a creative podcast talking about taxes like it's
Fuck where I am.
can be sexy to talk about. It's gonna get a little unsexy in this episode. And if you've been following the combo, we're all about talking about things that most people aren't going to talk about. Yes. And so this is gonna be a valuable episode if you are a freelancer who never really got a rundown on taxes, or you have is just worried with who or where you should be, or you should be investing, or you should be looking at. That was me when I first started. And I did all my own research, and it probably took me a good 1 to 2 years before I finally was like, okay, this is my system.
Scooby, what is wrong with you?
That one to 2 years before that was just all my stuff. That's good. Hey, quick disclaimer for those of you tuning in. Ed and I, we are not tax professionals. We are not accountants. We're not
Scooby.
this is not financial advice. We are sharing what we've learned from the lens and perspective of 2 creative entrepreneurs running their businesses. And so we get into this. How are we breaking this one down? Good.
My light is about to tweak over here.
So, tax strategy. Okay. Oh, first things first. Organization. Yep. So, we talked a little bit about how we organize our taxes. I think mainly what I want to talk about is money comes in, right? All freelancers, money comes in. Where does it go? What's the scope, right? You all have bank account when money comes in for yours or services. What happens after that? That's good. Oh, you asking me? I mean, I can start it off. Yeah. I think organization. Think of it as you're organized.
Get it.
Finances. Yeah. The foundation of your business is going to be so much more healthy. How do you approach that? Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of finding over the years. I think I still am trying to figure that money going to bills and expenses? How is that money going to your retirement or savings? And basically, you don't have to make it really percentages, but if you don't have a plan of where the money is going, and you're just making it and then spending it, one, you're never going to take care of financial easier. And two, your business won't ever have the, it's very hard to track your goals when you don't know what you're splitting. One month you're like, oh my gosh, this is the most money I've ever seen. And the next month you're like, I'm poor. Yeah, where's my
Scooby,
money? You guys want to be surprised.
you okay?
Going into tax season.
You okay, buddy?
Be disorganized. That's scary. I had a hit on it. As I'm saying right now,
You fighting on this
30
time?
years of my business, I've
Way
been
too early.
in this business for 11 years now. God bless. First couple of years, I would go into tax season and be like, I'm probably going to be good. Bad tax pros. Yeah, so that's one way that you can get ahead. Is I like these quick tips. Yeah, quick tips. That's like quick tips on this really. It's good to just get financial forecast and really high. The reason why this is important, y'all, is because just a little practical level for the listening of trying to do on this. When you work a job, it's W-2. W-2, typically the employer is the one that's going to handle a bunch of things, social security, education, taxes. So by the time it comes to you, that federal tax, it comes time to pay taxes, it's kind of already done for you. Yeah. It's already big thing, taxes will come out of your paycheck. Now, when you own business, you don't have someone to manage that. So, start taxes. And this is why it's so important.
Come on, Scooby. This is way too early. No, no, and no. Way too early on this stream.
Organization. First step. Think about that's good. Alright, you're a great entrepreneur. How can you I don't care. And you're trying to run your business. Eventually you're going to want to get higher professional tax companies. That's the line. All of this. Yep, 100%. We want to talk about in the next couple minutes what you should look for when you're getting companies. Yo, that is stressful. There's a wild west. I have bad accountants. I have terrible accountants. Same. And then I have amazing accountants. Yeah. Well, actually, only one of them is full-time. That's why I'm still working with them now. Right? So the first two things that I would look for in accountant one is, do they even know what you do? Yeah. So good. Yeah, I didn't know what you do. Exactly. Look at these accounting firms that, yeah, they work with businesses that trade, like transactional businesses, right? Like a local sandwich shop or a local coffee shop. Yep. How they operate their business is very different from how you operate your business. So understanding that you find someone that really understands what you do is so crucial. Because if they don't even know what you do, how can they help you with your taxes? Some say just interview tax accountants. Yeah, like, dude, one thing that I did early on was I interviewed a few people, and I wasn't going to hire the accountant that works for me a year. It wouldn't make sense. So hiring someone who's familiar with the industry is number one. Yes. The second thing that I would look for in accounting is understanding, when you work with big companies, you want to be familiar
It's about to be 4 a.m.
because there are accounting firms or accountants that work with a lot of big companies with tons of employees, tons of contractors, right? And I feel like all of a sudden now it's just really smooth. Yeah. A single person. And so understanding that the accountant needs to know how you operate with your income, but also how for the payments and stuff. Yeah. Because how you for tax savings and tax what you do is all kind of different when you're under company. Yeah. Big number three for me has to be
No.
Like, you can test them out for 6 months, see how it works, and if it's not a good fit, pivot. Don't be afraid to fire your phone. That's good. Communication skills are very good. You're
Scooby, what are you doing? No. I'm watching you.
You're officially fine. Yeah. Like, you're in county, you're not doing this.
No.
You should feel more trustworthy of your financial documents with like 90%.
Yeah, you gotta chill over there, buddy. It's 4 a.m. Go to bed again.
Also, I want to say, people think of hiring an accountant to do crazy stuff.
No.
But going and accounting is to make sure that there's tax strategy involved that's actually going to reduce the amount of money you owe. So really, for my accountant, I'll be honest with you, I'll pay a couple grand with them. But if I look at my business now that I have them in the picture versus when I didn't, it's saving so much more money individually. That's how you know it's better for your business. 100%. Let's go on a little hot take. We see this a lot on your social media. It's just a fun one to talk about. What are write-offs though? Ooh, tax write-offs. I know you guys are getting funny with Instagram reels and stuff, but can you tell people what is a tax write-off and what are the benefits of a tax write-off? What is a write-off? I think it's a purchase that you make that's going to help your business grow. Yeah, businesses, yeah. And I think it has to involve your business in some shape or form. For example, like a work permit, it's going to help you serve your clients better. Yep. The reason why it's beneficial
Let's get it.
basically anytime you come up with an expense where there's no, it's like you have the taxable income, right? So let's say you make $100,000, you spend 40,000 of that on expenses, now you have to pay $60,000 in income tax or whatever tax. But if you don't spend 40, you only spend like 10 grand, so now you have $90,000 of taxable income, and so you'll be paying more in taxes. Yeah, so people get that confused though, because just because you have a tax write-off doesn't necessarily mean you lose your I actually learned this too, like, I'm super cool with taxes. It's like, oh, I'm really here. You see, you're like, let's be focusing on my parents will be like, why are you guys doing here? That was a write-off. Yeah. Like, I made this thing that I don't even pay for it. Yeah. I'm not even paying for it as a write-off, but we get a little bit nerdy because I was talking about you have to figure out what is your tax percentage. So trying to make this like not like too like complicated, but for people who are not filing as a corporation, you have to use an LLC or something like that. Your tax percentage is most likely going to be somewhere like a 20 to 30% range, right? And so the 20-30%.
Scooby, you're gonna get in trouble. It's too early. Cut it out. It's way too early.
You will be paying 30% less in taxes off that house, right? Because that's an expense then. Yeah. So then it's like, what, that's $300 you need to save in taxes by buying more home. However, you just spent $1,000, you save $300. Yeah. So my point is saying that is, don't just like buy stuff to write off. Let's do it. One thing that I like to do with my account running is really report. So I like to set up a meeting where we look at where I'm going to end up at the end of the year with net income. Because I want to know, hey, what can I write off going into the year? What investments can I make in my business now versus in January that's going to help reduce my tax liability? So I
Mi
think
gente de allí, I'll be back in a few hours. Scooby, cut it out. I want to know something real nice. Put you guys onto some podcast. is fire.
Step into Wix Studio, the new web creation platform built for agencies, where creative freedom.
If you break down the 10K number to like 4 $2,500 a month retainers or 3 $3,500 a month retainers, as opposed to like I have to land 4 or 5 new clients every single month, it gives you predictable income. Also, it makes the 10K number a month less daunting and scary.
Niching down isn't going to limit you. It's actually going to put you into a better position to actually work with the clients that you want to work with. We want you working with the big dogs who value your time, value your energy, and you're actually going to make the work that makes you happy. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 148 of the 505 podcast. Today we're bringing you the no BS guide to making $10,000 per month as a creative. But first, let's get into the one-handed crack. Here we go. Boom. A
lot of spillage.
I think that's the first time I've ever dented a can. It did pop out. One of my worst scores. Got to give myself a 5.2. Go ahead. Dude, these were horrendously
Did
bad.
you shake these up beforehand?
I didn't shake them up. I don't know what's going on. I did put them in the freezer, though. That does tend to do something.
Well, hey, cheers to making more money, huh?
Cheers to getting the rocks, more bread. If you don't know us, welcome. This is the 505 podcast. We talk a lot about creative, entrepreneurship, all things that are going to help you guys in your careers. I'm super excited about this episode, though, because it's one we've wanted to do for a long time. What are a few of the things that are keeping people below $10,000 per month as a creative?
I would say the biggest thing is that they don't niche down and specialize. One of the biggest things that we're going to talk about in this episode is how important it is to specialize and niche down, because specialists can charge more than generalists. We're going to get into that, but I would say that's the biggest one. What about yourself? What do you think is another one?
I think another big one is just not knowing how to price your work. Every single day, I love helping you guys make more bread. It really gets me excited when you DM me and we work a little bit through that of trying to like charge someone. But I think that's a common one that I get, and it's repeat offenders. So people are hitting me up and they're like, yo, I don't know how to price this. Oh, I also don't know how to price this. I don't know how to price this. So today, hopefully you get a guide that you can follow and learn from and say, okay, when a deal does come in, I'm not thinking it's a fire drill every single time. I know how I'm going to price this. I know what this number should be at, and you'll feel so much more comfortable and not in this weird, like, what do we do?
And when you don't know how to price, you tend to underprice yourself and undervalue yourself as a creator.
Yeah, we don't want you guys to undervalue yourselves. What's another one?
Another one is that you don't know how to sell. And when you don't know how to sell yourself, you're just at the mercy of, you know, I hope somebody reaches out, but a big part of this is being able to like outreach and sell your services. But if you don't know how to sell yourself properly, you're just not going to land those dream clients that you're looking for.
I think another one is just you're praying that leads come in.
Yeah.
You're sitting there looking at that empty inbox and you're like, hopefully someone hits me up today. And after this episode, I hope that you can implement some of these things so leads are starting to come through the door, and at least you have practical knowledge for actually making this step happen, not just wishing the leads are going to come in.
Absolutely. I remember we had Jeremiah Davis on the podcast, and he said that if you're not outreaching, even if you're making $500,000 a year as a creative, you're still leaving like an extra $500,000 on the table by not doing outreach. So outreach and learning how to sell yourself and generating leads, that's such an important part for making a lot of money as a creator.
This is going to be the blueprint for making $10,000 per month as a creative. If you also want to learn more about how to do this, the Dream Client Accelerator cohort is now live. This is our second time doing this. We had an amazing group the first time around. So many people asking, when is it going to reopen? And today is the day. What do they learn in the Dream Client Accelerator? This is a 6-week cohort. It's live with us. What are they going to learn?
They're going to learn how to price their work, how to pitch themselves, how to position themselves correctly in the marketplace, a lot about personal brand, and then how to generate leads.
This is going to be an all-encompassing guide of this episode, so if you find it really helpful, please go check it out. It's the top link in the description. I can't wait to help this next set of rocks, but let's get into step one.
So step number one is positioning. This is where you need to start. If you're lost and you're not making the money that you want to be making, you need to start with how you're positioned in the marketplace. You want to learn how to become the go-to expert in said niche.
Okay, and how do we go about doing that? Because you hear positioning thrown around a lot. People are like, oh, you got to position yourself as an expert. But what does that exactly mean?
In short, positioning is how you're seen in the marketplace. So give us the example for your production company, Blue Stripe, for your positioning.
Okay, so we are the specialists at short form content creation that is living on the phone. So when agencies get hit up by these brands and they're like, hey, we have the short form commercial or the short form campaign, we want them to immediately think of, oh, we should hire Blue Stripe. Those are the guys that do the stuff that lives on the phone. And when I was thinking about just positioning for the company, there's so many production companies that are doing broadcast, and they've also been doing this for 20 years. So me going up to battle against them, we can win sometimes, but they're probably going to have a better pitch when it comes to that stuff. They're like, oh, we've done this for 20 years. Where when it comes with the stuff on the phone, I think it's very hard for them to say, oh, we know what's going to go on social. And they're like, let's see your social. Let's see what you guys have done. And a lot of the times it's just these bigger broadcast spots that are chopped down. They're not really social first. So that is our entire pitch.
When you don't know your positioning, it becomes a lot harder to like market yourself. One of the first questions somebody asks you when you meet them is like, oh, what do you do? And a lot of times you're like, oh, I'm a photographer or I'm a videographer. And they're like, oh, what kind of stuff do you shoot? And you're like, well, I do this and this. You're not really positioned in a certain niche in the marketplace, so you have a hard time explaining exactly what you do. And on top of that, when you do focus on so many different things and you're a generalist, you struggle in a lot of ways. So walk me through a few of the ways that generalists struggle.
When I think of generalists, I think that they just blend into the crowd. Like there's not that specific thing that you do really well. If I just put 100 videographers in a room and then there was the ones like, I only do concerts really well, when a concert job does pop into your head, you're not going to pick from this pool of 100 people that are like, I do weddings, I do this, I do that. It's like, I want the person who's the best at concerts. So by being a generalist, you actually get overlooked for more things. And in your head, you're thinking like, oh, I can do all these different things, so I'm going to get booked more. But it actually is quite the opposite, because they're like, if it's my big day and I have a wedding, am I going to hire the guy who does concerts, or am I going to hire the person who's the wedding expert? I'm hiring the wedding expert every single time.
And that's the next point, is like, you don't have trust. When you're a generalist and you shoot a bunch of different things, clients have a hard time trusting that you're going to be able to get the job done for the specific thing that you're looking for.
Yeah, and I also think that they compete on price a lot of the time.
Absolutely.
Like, you'll throw out your rate. When you're a generalist and you just do everything for everybody, you'll get those messages of like, oh, you think we could do it for $200? You think we could do it for $300? These people are trying to nickel and dime your rate, and that's not a place that you want to be. I've worked with people on these cheaper projects before, because I used to do this. I used to do everything. I was shooting weddings, I was shooting concerts, I was shooting real estate. I was the definition of a jack of all trades in this content game. And then when I decide, oh, I'm only going to serve this type of clientele, the conversations and pitching become so much easier, because one, I'm dealing with a lot of the same brands. So I learn certain nuances, and I learn the things that actually can help them. When you're working with 74 different things, you're spread too thin. You're not putting your best foot forward in every single thing, because you're not a specialist. You're not doing it all the time. You know, when I was shooting basketball, I've shot hundreds of games at the NBA level, hundreds, right? 5 years of shooting the NBA, 5 years of shooting the Lakers. When I would go to a basketball game, I could tell you every position in the arena to be successful. And if you are a Little Rock and it's your first time shooting a game, you're just not going to get the same level of shots. That's why like Andy Bernstein is able to, every single game, he gets the best shots in the arena, because he's a specialist. He knows exactly where to be. He's anticipating the action. That's just how it happens.
Yeah, and if you're a generalist, you just end up attracting the lower paying clients, because you do so many different things, but you don't specialize in one specific thing.
God, they're the worst.
And on top of that, you touched on it, but if you're a generalist, marketing yourself and your services just becomes a lot harder, and you're all over the place. When you don't have a specific thing that you're focused on, you're like, what do I make content about, and how do I market myself? Because I do this thing, but I also do this thing, and I also do this thing. When you do one thing specifically, you know, you shot basketball for a very long time. I did concerts for a very long time. When I was heavy into touring, a lot of my content was based around concerts specifically, and my marketing was so easy. I was able to land a lot more concert photography and video gigs because all of my marketing was about that niche.
Makes it so much easier to stand out, and that's why specialists win, right? Because immediately as I say their name, or if like you're thinking about a soda, I'm sure we can all think of the one soda brand that pops into your brain because of their positioning, right? It's literally it all falls under these different categories and the things that we're talking about today. But a specialist, it makes you stand out, right? For example, I've been on a shoot multiple times in LA with this Bolt camera arm, right?
Yes.
Every single time, it's the same person that shows up. He is the master at the Bolt camera arm, and I've been on 4 separate shoots. He gets paid boatloads of money, probably way more money than a standard camera operator, because it's such a specialized product. He's the only one that knows how to command this robot to move from here to here in 3 seconds. And so when a shoot does come up and they're like, oh, we need that camera robot arm, they're going to call this one specific guy. I believe his name is Simon. And it's so crazy to think about that. I go on a set, I'm like, oh my God, Simon's here again, and it's this Bolt robot arm because he's the best at it and he knows how to talk to it. So he's a specialist. He's carved out a very specific niche lane. Even there's another person I can think of. There's a fella in LA who does rollerblading on he's a DP that rollerblades. Every single commercial spot that requires you to be using rollerblades, who are they going to call? They're going to call that guy. And I can even just thinking of it, I'm like, that's the guy to call.
Not only are they going to think of him first, but he's able to charge a premium price because he's the only guy or the best guy at filming while on roller skates. So the reason why specialists
Y pensar que te cargaba en mis brazos el día de ayer. Tan rápido, ya 15 años no puede ser. Recordar toda la alegría que me has traído y mirar en el ser hermoso que te has convertido. Como si de arriba me dieron demasiado, como un regalo que no merecí, como si jamás te me marcharas. Ojalá pudiese pedirte que ya, por favor, no crezcas más. Y tal vez no sepas que yo me levanto por ti, que a veces si te falta algo no puedo dormir, que me asusta cómo el mundo vive el día de hoy. Y mi anhelo es mirarte siempre en bendición, como si de arriba me dieron demasiado, como un regalo que no merecí, como si jamás te marcharás. Ojalá pudiese pedirte que ya, por favor, no crezcas más. Yeah.
Let me see if it They not active no more, but I love these people before. Used to put so many content. These are amazing.
Your dreams are just not as far as you think they are. They're always attainable, but it's just always a space where you truly need to dedicate yourself to what you believe in.
So, I mean, like, you just have had like the most incredible kind of like rags to riches kind of story. And what was the moment where you knew that you could actually manage being a photographer full time?
I truly feel like when I quit my job, I was like, okay, I can do this. And I don't know, I don't think anything fuels me more than like the competitive nature I have with myself. Like, if I give myself a goal, like even if I'm not good at something, I want to do it. I was just like, this has to work. Because I didn't finish school, because I just was in a space where I didn't know what I wanted to do at the time, I was like, this is the only thing I've ever done that I truly love and can see myself doing forever.
Let's talk about like photographers that inspire your work.
I am really, really inspired by like other photographers I'm friends with. Just because, like I said, I think that like representation and seeing people you know and people you're around do things are like super cool. So like my friend Renelle, who's like an amazing like fashion and photographer in general, or like Greg, who does amazing concept photography. Gunnar does amazing portraits. So it's just like, I'm constantly like online, like, oh my God, this person's work is so amazing, but it's like true to them.
All right, so let's talk about On the Run tour, because I've been dying to discuss this. How did this whole thing come to be?
I went to Made in America in 2017. Basically with like the biggest artists at Made in America, or just in festivals in general, they only allow their photographers. So I could shoot everybody else, but I couldn't shoot Jay. So I was really frustrated, and I was like kind of walking around the festival like huffing and puffing because I was so upset about it. And I was like, you know what, like my friends are here, let's just like go in the crowd, I'll enjoy myself, I'll shoot from the crowd. So I tweeted the photos, and I tweeted like, Hove, put me in the pit next time.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, I was very bold. The next day, Lenny and Guru both like messaged me separately and were like, hey, so Jay saw your tweet, and he wants you to shoot the Meadows Festival in the pit. I was like, okay, this is crazy. Like, this is crazy. Like, there's nothing else that can be crazier than this. I was dumb for even thinking that. Jana calls me, she's like, hey, do you want to shoot the New York show? I'm like, sure. So I shoot the New York show, and then she calls me the next day, and she's like, hey, so he wants you to come on tour. And I'm like, okay, like when? And she's like, tomorrow. I mean, it was just so insane to me that I was on tour with Jay-Z. I just couldn't even imagine. This was the same person like 4 months ago that was like, can you put me in the pit?
I think it's really great that you're opinionated enough, but you're strong and level-headed enough to have the discernment to know like what you like, and that also not everything has to look one way.
The conversations I have with myself about photography and what I want as an artist kind of keep me grounded in the sense that like, okay, this is what you want, this is what you like, and this is what you see. So you have to kind of take yourself out of the like constant like social media like struggle that you have with just seeing all these photos all the time, and like you just kind of got to tell your story, as cliche as it sounds, and like be comfortable with like, I'm always trying to tell a better story from me.
People need to think about who is taking the picture and who's seeing history and who's telling history and what's being told. Because the same person had the pen and the camera, all the history behind us now. So the exciting thing about this moment that's shifting is when you go to photograph somebody, think about what makes you special.
I want to know, like, do you think that you manifested your dreams into a reality?
Yeah, of course you have to manifest the things you want to do. In terms of how I did that, I mean, probably through the internet was the best way. Because I like this idea of like, you can say stuff, and then even if it goes wrong, like you're the artist.
Let's talk about growing up in Atlanta.
I'm a suburban boy, and I was raised in Marietta outside Atlanta. I went to a white Christian private school in the city. So I kind of straddled this line of being from outside the city, coming into the city. And I guess creatively that gave me a perspective of, living between two places. In the city, there's a very black core, and then kind of on the rural outside, it's a very white kind of outside of Atlanta. So I guess those things are kind of like in an origin way, kind of where I started to get the basis of how I looked at things. Basically knew by the time I was 18, it was time to go to New York.
So let's talk about the transition into photography. Like, how did that start and how did that happen?
basically I started making skate videos. So that's what I kind of always thought. Basically, this could be a great way to avoid math class. So I picked up a camera and started to like film all my friends and like put up montages, and then people in Atlanta would start saying, "You're the skateboard filmer dude, you make all the videos." Basically, that was the starting point.
You know, I find that in fashion it displays quite a bit of ageism. And I was curious to know like how you sort through that, being as young as you are, and if you ever felt you weren't respected enough due to your age.
So as ageist as fashion is, it's been the people who are 5-10 years older than me who don't give me an opportunity.
Right.
But it's people who are 30-40 years older than me who say, okay, this kid has something, let me mentor him. We're having a moment now where people are realizing, okay, we have to relinquish some power to people. Like, things are becoming democratized really fast in front of people's eyes. There's the same 5 people shooting every single campaign, every single image that you would see on the train station, the bus station, the subway station, the billboard, the TV ad. In terms of like fashion and ageism, I think people decided the only perspective that could change things is younger people.
And let's talk about the fact that you are the first African-American man to shoot Vogue in 126 years of its entire lifespan.
In terms of Beyonce and Vogue, I feel that it's kind of been amazing, the journey, like the violent explosion of the whole thing. Just because people were, I think, ready. There was a boiling, there was a bubbling. People were ready for a different author, of a different sort of kind of like regime, of like a new ladder in a way. I just so happen to be like a vehicle for that. Now is the time to avidly and like ruthlessly see myself in pictures, see people who look like me, see dark-skinned people in pictures, in fashion pictures.
Yeah.
You know, you hear these words like diversity and representation, all these, it's like, what the hell does any of that mean? What it means is what you have in you to connect with someone else.
Don't ever like do a shoot and be like, damn, I didn't gain anything out of that. Like, if you're chasing your dreams, you can't expect it to feel easy. That shit is gonna feel impossible.
Wanted to get started by talking about the name, Raised Corrupted Mind. So how was that conceived, and you know, how did it come about?
The Raised Corrupted Mind is like a very like deep meaning to me of why I made that name. I'm not even a corrupted person. I'm like probably one of the nicest people. So then I was like, you know, I'm gonna take the name and show people that you can get through this shit, even this corrupted ass road, you can get through this shit and shine through all this shit, you know what I'm saying?
So tell me about your friendship with Bloody Osiris, and I want to know about the impact that he's had on your career.
Man, if it wasn't for Bloody Osiris, I wouldn't be here. Now it's like amazing to know he's right by my side through all this.
And what about you and Travis? How did you guys first meet, and how did you guys become friends?
My first concert ever was a Trav concert.
Was it?
Yeah, my first concert ever, and I didn't even pay for it. I snuck in. 8 months after that, I was at my old friend of mine's house, and I was leaving. He was like, yo, come back inside, come back inside. I was like, what's good? My car was waiting outside. And he was like, and he showed me his phone, and it was like this one photo of me like sitting down. And Trav sent it to him and was like, yo, I'm trying to meet this kid. So I just stood at my friend's house, and then my friend passed me the phone in the morning. I answered, and it was Trav. And he was like, yo, where you at? And I was just like, shit, uptown. And he was like, meet me here now. And I was like, he was like, meet me here now. Let's pull up. I'm about to be on my way. He didn't make it feel like we ain't know each other. Like it felt like we already knew each other off then. And then I remember leaving. He was like, I'm gonna see you in like a couple months. And then that's when the Bird's Eye View tour, like a day before, my manager now, shout out David Stromberg, DM'd me and was like, yo, pack up, you about to come on tour. And then I flew out to LA, and ever since then, that's how it's been.
And your style of shooting is real life and definitely gritty. Is that intentional?
Yeah, I want everything to look like you're right there in the moment. Like I don't Photoshop and I don't do none of that. Like everybody you see is how they look. When I like create and stuff like that, I just want everything to look like you're there. I don't just shoot with everybody. I'm just not like out here like working with everybody or like trying to be a part of everything. Or I don't go to parties. I don't go to clubs. I don't care if people see me. Like I like a lot of people want to be seen more than they're doing anything. Like bro, people could know your face, but if your face isn't coming with anything, what is the point of that?
Ask questions, be curious, connect with your audience, and most importantly, have a purpose. If not, you'll just be part of the noise.
I wanted to talk to you about actually like the kind of like the more technical side of photography and that learning curve for you. How did you go about learning how to use a camera?
I took a part-time job as a sales rep at a camera store. While I was doing the night shift or the evening shift, I had a lot of time to kind of read up on photography books. And surprisingly, a lot of the practice and study of photography actually came from doing passport photos. I'd play with the lights in the booth to kind of experiment and understand how lighting works.
When you were just shooting kind of like on your own time, not for a specific gig or anything, what were you attracted to shooting at that time?
The one avenue that I enjoyed the most, as I found out, was actually doing portraits. My style, of course, has changed over the years, but I'd say what kind of led to this point was first starting in photojournalism. Understanding the subject, knowing who I'm shooting, and pushing the boundaries of knowing what their story is, and then coming up with my own story and sort of imprinting my story onto them.
Is there a specific project that you can think of that you would say opened a lot of doors for you in your career?
I'm actually now also a film director. But to kind of move into that field, I was very fortunate that Jay-Z's team from Life and Times actually discovered my work when I was experimenting with some videos I posted on YouTube, which went viral. And I was able to do a second version of Empire State of Mind with Victoria's Secret. And I think that was kind of how I got started. And really, that was a milestone moment for me to realize, wow, I could actually break into the video world as well. I see photography and film as two completely different art forms and two different ways of storytelling. In photography, I like the challenge of presenting a character and a scene and allowing the viewer to imprint what they feel the story of that scene is. So for instance, if you see a girl crying, you'd have to use your personal experiences to guess and feel, why is this girl crying? Is it because she just broke up? Is it the beginning of a story or is it the end of a story? We don't really know. And that in its own way is a form of storytelling. I'm piquing your interest by giving you the ingredients of a character and a scene, and you have to figure out what the story means to you. Filmmaking storytelling is what I want to say. So I actually tell you the story from A to Z. And I'm telling you how to feel throughout the film. And so these are two complete different art forms that I feel I enjoy, I love, and I would never drop one for the other.
You know, with every artist, everybody's different. You know, everybody's different and very particular when they want to get photographed. Photograph according to your own feelings, and that's what makes your shot unique in your way.
Okay, let's start with the basics. You're from LA. What was your childhood in LA like? What was the LA of your youth like?
When growing up, I didn't see myself become a photographer. I didn't know I was going to become a photographer. I wanted to become a baseball player. So I was, just playing baseball. I first picked up my first camera, which was a Canon Rebel T2i. I started photographing my teammates. And in that case, because I told myself, I don't need somebody to hire me to go out to work. I should go out to work regardless, And that's kind of like how I started.
When was your first big break? Where did it feel like you went from developing and kind of struggling to moving towards a place where you could start to make a living from photography?
One of my friends, Platinum Motorsport, had this thing called PML Quick Strike. They got all these exotic cars. So I'm like, man, this is an opportunity to shoot cool cars. They posted all my photos on their Instagram. And then there's this magazine called Dub. The editor was like, hey man, we got an event, come by and shoot. And I made sure I shot everybody that I see. One of the person that I've shot, was Game's manager. I'm like, excuse me, sir, this is my photograph. Can I send this to you? They're like, oh man, I like your perspective. How would you like to shoot Game? I started shooting the Game for the next 2 months. I started shooting his events. I was on my way to summer school to finish my very last class to get my 2 degrees, my 2 AAs. And then right before I hit the freeway, I get a text from Game. Meet me here in Compton. I didn't even ask what's happening. I just said, I'll be right there. So I said, I could always take my class another time. So I made that U-turn and I went down to Compton. I didn't even know it was a video shoot. And it happened to be the video shoot, it's called 100, and that happened to be the first time I got to photograph Drake too. So, and then from now on, that's kind of like broke me into my starting career in music. And one thing that I've learned from that a lot is, just always work hard, always stay positive, be respectable to one another, and stay moving. And from there on, with that approach, allowed me to still continue into music.
When you're in these situations that are kind of like high pressure, kind of noteworthy moments, how do you stay focused and make sure that you get the right shots that you need?
Usually, I let my emotions fall in. I have my settings ready. When I let everything fall naturally to a moment, it allows me to foreshadow, meaning that I can anticipate what's gonna happen next. Like some people say, man, I wanna shoot just like you. I said, no, don't shoot like you, man, because you have to be able to adjust to your own knowledge and to your own emotions, That's the foundation of everything I do. Simplicity. Keep everything simple. You know how they say the greater things in life don't come easy. It comes through hardships, it comes through struggles. We're always gonna struggle, I'm always gonna struggle. But with that, it's the only way we grow.
The most important thing is to be able to know how to separate your ego from your being, because the two are not the same.
Let's talk about your first, photo set and how it kind of came to be.
I was shooting musicians and then going around shooting all the punters, getting drunk and rolling around. And essentially I wanted to go into these festivals, and instead of having hundreds, I wanted to go in and spend a weekend at a camping festival and walk away with 1 or 2 photos.
Oh.
So it became about capturing an experience with less photos and, kind of focusing on channeling a certain energy.
Do you think that your art and your creative process was a little bit more surface-based prior to beginning the personal unpacking process?
You see in my earlier work, there's a lot of ignorance and innocence. And as I moved to America, as I was away from my family and everything I knew, I realized all I had was myself. And when you reach that point where you have no community to protect you, you've got to figure out why you can't protect yourself and what you need to do to be able to. When I'm in my head, all these lines come out. All the inner dialogue you see on my work, that's all from these moments of these tidal waves of emotion. So they happen one after the other, and I'll come up with 20 lines in 2 minutes, and it's because of the apathy.
Let's talk about Noah, Gorgie.
The universe put us together, and I was like, we need to write a story, and the only story I can tell right now is that I'm single and I'm enjoying my solitude, and I'm enjoying dreaming and manifesting my reality. So that's where I'm at. Do you resonate? And he said yes. Then we shot, and we had the best freaking day, and we just had conversation the whole time, and a series was born, Dear Love. Every single series comes from a moment of me feeling like I need to tell a story and not doubting that, and just trusting that the universe is gonna make it work, even if it is 24 hours, and it has. And every time the series go viral, because I feel like it's the universe's way of rewarding me for trusting. So my advice is to never doubt that inkling inside of you that's telling you to do something. Just do it.
What we want to do tonight is talk about the process of photography, taking the time to really respect what you're doing with photography. Everything from when you push the button to when you see the image. I didn't think I had a creative bone in my body. I was in Europe, kind of just found art, and I found sort of this creative sort of spark.
I started out as a ballerina for the first half of my life. That movement really influenced me to capture that emotion that I developed at such an early age.
Education shouldn't be seen as academic. With photography, it's such an accessible art form, which is really great, but it's also really easy to forget to keep learning and to keep thinking about things that you're seeing, which is so important. All this is part of the educational process.
I'm very grateful for the education that I did get, and I think that process was really important in the beginning stages, but however, it did reach its limit, and I think The freedom of being able to be out there on my own and fail a few times and learn from my mistakes, learn from the real world. I learned so much more. Your inspiration can come from so many different places. If you're interested in photography, it doesn't mean that you should only look at photography books. You can study law, but then still be interested in photography. Like there's really no limit. There's no right or wrong way.
A lot of work and a lot of learning and understanding comes from being put in a position where you are not comfortable. For myself, in terms of inspiration, I really love running up to that line of gratuitous and just stopping right before. In terms of feeling, I think I draw a lot of inspiration from emotion. The broader the range of emotions, the more you can pull from to recreate.
For a long time, I let fear stop me from seeking any opportunity out there in photography. But I soon learned that fear is what was driving me to keep going, to keep trying, to keep failing, to keep experimenting. And I think if you understand how to motivate yourself off of that drive, you can produce some really powerful stuff.
There's no really right or wrong, but if you're creating art and photography just for yourself, then you'll never have the influence or impact of other people and what that will give back to it. Leaving things up to interpretation in photography is a really strong tool that everyone will take something different away from the exact same image.
We live in such a fast digital world that things are moving around us so quickly that it's really important to take those regular breaks yourself, to slow down and sit with your work. Maybe you look at something that you shot 5 years ago or the first thing you shot and see kind of how you've developed, how you've changed. Maybe you'll see something differently.
Challenge is really important in learning. Never throw out your mistakes or never think that you have a bad photo, because at some point you might come back to it. Nothing has to be so perfect, and that's part of the beauty of photography, is that it's up to interpretation.
I think I'm learning the most right now that I ever learned in my whole life.
How soon after being in the city did you start taking photographs?
I remember like the time where I got into graphic design. That's where I got like my interest into like visual, into anything that was like photos. And obviously at the time I didn't have any resources money-wise, and also I only had a phone. So I started taking pictures with my phone actually. And I was like, well, like maybe I need better equipment to take these pictures. So that's how I grew, and I was like, okay, I guess I can get into photography.
Pretty soon after that, you started going on tour with artists, like you went on tour with The Weeknd and Travis Scott. You've gone on tour with Selena Gomez. Can you talk a bit about what you learned being on those major tours with recording artists?
Shooting for them was just like, it's just like me linking up with like anybody and just going for a walk, like chilling, drinking coffee, whatever. And then like, you don't get anxieties anymore. You're just like chill with a bunch of people. So being with like certain artists like that, it helps a lot.
You talked about like getting advice from a lot of different people in the community. What's a piece of advice that has served you well, you know, now that you kind of wish you knew earlier in your career?
Invest in yourself. If you get that little paycheck, whatever job you're working on, just put like 10%. Put 10% because you can probably buy yourself your next camera, right? Because I think the best thing ever is to like find what you really like and investing on it. Sometimes you don't need like the big budget. Sometimes you don't need a lot to do something. If you really want to do it, just like start slow. If you're young right now, you have that time and you live in this world, just invest time in yourself, you know? How can I level up my creativity, or like what can I switch? There's always been like something to solve, you know? It's like, cause like the whole thing is just solving problems. And throughout that, I just try to keep an artistic integrity. Because when you're working for a client, you know, like a part of you will have to like, again, like I said, bend a little bit, you know? Cause it's like not really your work. Like your own work is your own stuff. You can remain artistic about it, you know? It's just collaboration. It's communication at the end of the day, really, yeah.
What do you think are some like concrete ways that a young creator can level up?
Like, it's cool to do stuff alone, but it's greater when you have like 4 or 5 of your friends together and like making things happen in a better way. The whole point is not to create one pyramid, but it's to create a bunch of them. So if your friend is good at one skill, team up with your friends because you know you're good at another one and come together and make something great.
everyone here, to be honest, like goes full throttle with it. And I think we just surround ourselves with people who do the exact same. And it's just more motivating that way to just like see other people's drives and like hustle even harder.
When I started at Free, I was like their 4th employee. I was their like in-house videographer and editor. And right now I'm based in LA, I'm a film director.
So when I worked at Free, I was the channel manager, so managed all the editorial and the social output. Now I dabble in a lot of different creative things. My main role is acting as the art director at Castor and Pollux, which coincidentally enough was also founded by another creator class alumni. And then I do some photo work on the side.
I was the first OG Free creator class intern. And I worked under Rosanna. Could I get a round of applause for Rosanna? Yeah, so that was an awesome experience. And now I'm a filmmaker slash cinematographer based out of Toronto.
And I'm a filmmaker from Toronto. And while I was at Free, I pretty much took over Rosanna's job when she had to spread her wings and fly. But right now, yeah, I'm just a filmmaker working with my friends under the name Tier Zero.
It was fundamental, I think, in my career to create like a body of work, even if it was me jumping outside with the C300 or asking my friend to shoot something with me. That's something I would carry forward, is don't be afraid to create your own work.
A personal challenge of mine, you know, to step up to the plate, and there's been multiple times where I've like broken down and just been like, this is not for me, you know, this is not my personality to like extend myself in this area. It's one of those things where it's like really, really personal because you think that you're not good enough, but you have to be good at it enough to really decide if it's not for you at that point.
The biggest thing that I've learned from my creative journey over the past 3 years is to just not overplan and go with the flow. And I think that sometimes you don't really know where you need to go until you get there. So just be open to new experiences. Yeah.
My grandmother was in the hospital, and she told me 2 things before she passed away. And she said was 1, come back home, stay closer to your family, and 2, keep doing your thing with film. With those 2 connections, after she passed, it was just a no-brainer of just yo, I'm gonna quit my job, move back home. But it was a big motivator for me to give it my all.
Most of us started out doing different things, but the key thing was that we found our passions and we found different avenues that we can be creative in. And it's not wrong to do more than one thing. Just push yourself in all avenues that you can and be yourself.
When people hear something different, they get scared. This movie is coming out at this time when not only is there people are outwardly, openly looking for something new in film, but also openly looking for something new in social movements and ways to engage and change the world.
So I just want to talk a bit about the film, obviously, Sorry to Bother You, which is set in Oakland, where you grew up. Just wanted to ask you, what are some of your memories? What's the Oakland you grew up in like?
We didn't used to have access to the kinds of places that exist. We didn't have venues to do hip hop shows at. There were venues, there were bars and stuff like that, but they didn't book hip hop. They only booked rock or something like that. Mm-hmm. And so we had to rent out restaurants or union halls or, even hotel meeting spaces. And that's where our shows happened. Mm-hmm. Oakland is a small town, 400,000 people. It's part of this bigger metropolitan area, the Bay Area. We're right across the water, 5 minutes from San Francisco and Berkeley, all that kind of stuff. But so it's still this small town where we don't get to do anything. Like I said, there's no venues, that sort of thing. So people want to see something. And, you have this feeling like you're irrelevant, like nobody knows who you are, nobody, because at the time people didn't know. You'd say Oakland, they'd be like, Oklahoma? What? You know, like they didn't know what that was.
So you've had a really long career in music, like over 20-year career, and you started out by going to film school. What brought you back? Like you wrote Sorry to Bother You, I think the first draft was finished in 2012. Like what was it in 2011 that made you want to start writing this film and felt like it was a good time to get into filmmaking?
I'd done a side project with Tom Morello called Street Sweeper Social Club. Tom is one of my best friends. However, I'm not used to that sort of a collaboration. So I wasn't feeling fulfilled by that experience, which I'd worked on for a couple years. You know, it's hard for all the talk I do about like how people need to collectively do something. Like sometimes for artists to work together, it's a weird situation and it doesn't satisfy everything I need. I needed something that I controlled all the aspects about it, you know. That I could create this world and make people go through this experience, you know?
And it's quite the world. It's kind of like a dystopian, alternate present day kind of world. When you finished the script and you were pitching it around in the early days, like what were some of those meetings like? How were people reacting to this really unique world that you created?
You know, I went to both the screenwriters lab and the directors lab. The Sundance screenwriters labs, you meet with like a writer for like 2 or 3 hours at a time or something like that, and you just talk to them about the script, no rules about it or whatever. There's this guy Kareem Ainous, who is a independent filmmaker from Brazil, based in Berlin. So this guy was like, I love your main character, Cassius. I love him. I just think he's just a really good dude. I just want to protect him. I want to hang out with that guy. And he said, and that's how I know it's bullshit, because I hate everybody. And so this made me reconstruct the same storyline, but with him making the decisions, him owning them and defending his reasoning. That had ripples throughout the script.
So you've kind of been talking about the issues that you deal with in the film your whole career, whether it's like labor rights or the redistribution of wealth. Do you find like that, it seems like right now, a lot of the stuff like labor rights, for instance, has been kind of on the periphery of culture, with the exception of up until like, you know, the Occupy Wall Street days. And now it's kind of having a resurgence in the mainstream media. Can you talk a bit about like this film coming out at a more timely time for the culture right now?
Well, yeah, I think that art is often reflective of the movements that are going on out there right now. And I think that folks are at a point where we've been promised all of these fruits of democratic society. Like, if things are voted on by the majority, then they're gonna serve the majority, right? But it's not happening. You know, it's not really what happens. And I think everyone's searching for a way to make things better.
And kind of to that point, I've heard you talk in the past about how if you look at like Hollywood films, they kind of have a similar structure, even when some of the radical seeming films, that kind of it puts the state as the hero in a lot of ways. Like if you think of the Bourne Identities, the Mission Impossibles, even Black Panther has like elements of it. Why was it important for you to show a different kind of hero?
Well, I guess the real simple answer is that I don't believe the ideas that are being put out by those other films. So that's not my worldview. And I think that there are many artists who that wouldn't be their worldview, but you kind of get caught up in the conventions of storytelling that lead you to tell that kind of a story. Those rules do help you creatively, and they're necessary. It's good to have constraint. But then after a while, that constraint becomes cliche. I want to make films that don't make you think, wow, that person is so special, I could never be that. Because that's what, in real life, the person that has done this amazing thing also feels that way. You know?
Yeah.
I feel like it's more true to life to show, you know, as much as possible, like a collective struggle, as much as possible, someone who does the things that they have to do. You know, it's not because of their special power. We've all got some sort of special power. So it's not that makes someone special. It's just their decision to engage and to actually do something.
Safe spaces now, and that word safe space is being thrown around a lot, but sometimes it's not just about, you know, having a safe space, but actually feeling welcome in a space. Cindy, I see you nodding your head. Do you want to kind of like, what's that differentiation for you?
Well, first of all, I don't call it a safe space, I call it a safer space, because there's no space that's truly safe. All we can do is try our best to make more people feel included and welcome.
We, as in like us, and also the people in this room, and the people that think about these things, I do think that like we kind of, I don't want to say a pat on the back, but I feel like we do need to acknowledge that like it's a good thing that as a community we actually want to have these conversations, because most people, you know what I mean, most people, and especially in nightlife situations, it's like it's all about money, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's all about money, and it's all about actually sticking to that status quo. A majority of the LGBT community and the mainstream LGBT community in North America, because I'm not specifically sure about Toronto, but it's predominantly, these clubs usually always segregate people of color to like one night at the club, and make no mistake about having a dress code that is blatantly racist to like discourage people of color from coming to like the club, you know?
So I think when we're talking about all these ideas, they often exist in, I don't want to, like elite communities or woke communities, and I think that parties give people a chance to be in proximity with bodies and people that are unlike themselves. And I think that's really important, because I think that exposure, you know, some people might think it's superficial or it's very transient, but that exposure can really disrupt someone and cause them to ask many different questions about themselves and what they believe and whatever constructs that they've swallowed, you know, their whole lives. So I think that, I don't know about global change because it's such a lofty idea, but I just think on an individual level, just being in spaces that are not homogenous are good for you.
I might be biased, but partner up with a charity. I mean, that's the thing. I've been saying this repeatedly, and that's kind of why I'm here at the same time, but it does make a difference. And again, I think it puts the theory and the ideas and the conception into real action when you're supporting people who are doing frontline work and important work.
So my name is Michelle Da Silva. I'm the online and social media manager at Now Magazine. I'm also a freelance journalist. I cover a lot of stories that have to do with community and culture, with a special interest in millennials, race and gender equity, mental health, and DIY spaces. Before we begin, I'm going to just introduce the people that we have up here on our panel. Starting from the far left, we have Cindy Lee, better known as CL. Cindy is an established DJ and promoter in Toronto. She started Work in Progress to highlight underground electronic music produced by women. Next to Cindy, we have Bambi, which she's not performing, Bambi, who is a Toronto DJ, who started the monthly Jerk Party, which celebrates the Black musical diaspora. Then we've got Mickey Blanco. Mickey is a queer performance artist, rapper, poet, and activist based out of Lisbon now. In 2017, Mickey hosted the documentary Out of This World, which helped tell the story of South Africa's genderqueer community. Finally, we've got Winnie Luck. Winnie is the managing director of Rainbow Railroad. When Winnie isn't doing advocacy work, she moonlights as a DJ in Toronto. So, getting started, this panel was billed as progressive nightlife for global change. What does progressive nightlife mean to you guys? And maybe can you describe an experience that you've had where you feel like you've been in a progressive nightlife situation? Mickey, jump in.
Yeah, I think, well, I just also wanted to say that if everyone has questions or things that are bubbling in your brains, take little notes, because usually it's the real dialogue kind of starts to come from the audience in these situations. So to answer your question super directly but indirectly, I mean, I think the fact that even this sentence, nightlife as a catalyst for global change, the fact that that's a sentence that is being uttered and we talk about, and that this panel is happening. We were having like a little mini discussion before, and it's